different audio source, so it's never on point. "20 minutes of power." I told you, Icky, once you actually play Aoi, it feels so good. Like, anytime you make a good read, it's just like, it feels so good. You know what? We're gonna put this at 0, and we're gonna delay the audio. Probably like by 300 milliseconds. She seems like the reward is there. I love the Tenchi though. I told you, Icky, I told you. Like, once you actually play Aoi, it rewards you a lot for like a good read. By a heavy amount. It rewards you so heavy. You just have to make that good read. Is the sound still desync? I cannot tell at all. I wish I could snatch the sound out of here. Audio input. Sound is fine now. Okay, if the sound is good, then I'm gonna continue on. Where are we? We are at PPP. Oh, this thing. This thing. Oh my god. That last string was good sync. Okay. I'm gonna put it at 500 then. I think it should be good. Okay. PPP 2K and attention. Some tips about that string. That string, whether on blocked, on normal hit, on counter hit, she can transfer that into Tenchi. Even after a block sweep, that can go into Tenchi, as everyone should know. That makes that half safe, I'll say, because the fact of the matter is, a lot of people try to launch her like immediately after, like they mash out a launcher and then they get caught up in this, and then she gets the clap back with her launcher. Don't get caught up in that if you're playing against her. Otherwise, if you're playing as her, make sure that sometimes you switch it up between the feint and you switch it up between Tenchi, so that way you can make that launcher safe, or you can at least see what they're going to do. If they're going to mash it out, you can just block it and punish it. Or if you know that if they're going to mash out a launcher, then you could Tenchi it and then just come out with a launcher of your own. This string right here is a simple don't crouch string. That was an ad. This string right here is a don't crouch string. It pretty much smacks somebody in the face whenever they try to crouch. Because a really good player will try to duck that string if it's a high. But if you come out with the mid, it's going to smack them up. The feint, I should lock these moves so that way people can actually see. The feint is a good way in order to delay. Because if they try to duck that string, you know, the PPP string, if they think that you're going to try to do a PPP 2K or PPPK, they're going to try and duck it. So in which case, if they try to delay launcher or they try to delay attack, that's going to meet them there at the gate, and it's going to shut them right up. This, of course, is hit confirmable. High, mid. in which case that knocks them back up, and that knocks down. Except for Taka, of course, you know. By the way, just to let people know about these strings like PPP, PPPK, PPP2K, these strings are hyper delayable. Like you could do any kind of flow with these strings, in which case it could come out fast, medium fast, super slow, hyper slow. That you have to know that with this character, with Aoi, delays are your friend. Don't be afraid to delay the string. Even if they mash out a lot, don't be afraid to delay the string. Because usually stuff like that catches them on counter hit, and in which case it either knocks them down or it gives you advantage. So don't be afraid to delay strings at all. This string, I mean, with this string, I guess it's good for, like, you know, catching evaders, if you can catch which way they're going to evade. But mostly with that string, I use it for this, which is the next move in the whole thing. And everyone knows about her back turn, quote unquote, Blackstar coined this term, back turn shenanigans. A lot of people hate her back turn shenanigans. So that's mostly what I use this string for, just to get into back turn stance. As for this string, you can create a little distance with that string. As you can see, it's -13. But the fact of the matter is, she kind of like puts distance between you and her. So it's a iffy punish, I would say, if you wanted to punish her. But besides that, for Aoi players, it's good for, you know, keeping distance from the opponent. You know, just put a little distance between there and stuff like that, but whatever. This string, I would say is good for pushing the opponent back towards the wall or towards the ring out. Or even wall splat. In which case, that move is very good for wall splatting, or even wall combos. But besides that, I don't see pretty much any other use besides pushing your opponent back, or, you know, a good high mid string that's kind of slow, so you wonder if they're gonna, you know, mash out or something like that. This string, it's just a mix-up to that. Nothing but a mix-up. Nothing really crazy. So if your back is against the wall, I mean, if their back is against the wall and they know that you're trying to push them to the ring, you could create a mix-up out of that, depending on, you know, the situation that's going on. Oh, this string. Oops. Everyone knows that you PPK after every tenshi except for juggleable kicks or knees. PPK is your friend. Even on side turn. Damn it. That is a natural combo on side turn. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Ikki, that's one thing me and Kobe were trying to tell you. When you tenshi a limb, like an elbow or a punch or something like that, you remember to PPK. Always remember to PPK, unless it's like an overhead kick, knee, a high kick, or a high kick, yeah. Always PPK. That, or you could even create mix-ups, but I'll get into that a bit later. And this, just your simple P pushback. You could probably use it in combos to create different kind of mix-ups and setups. But this simple 14 frame mid, you know, shuts opponents up from crouching, stops them from crouching, and it has a follow-up, that mid-high, And this is something that I was telling Icky about, but I want to tell everyone else that because that is -1, you could do a very peculiar Tsubaki with that, and it will Tsubaki highs and mid, not highs and mid, highs and low punches. But besides that, back to the string, you can feint out of that. I wouldn't recommend feinting if it's on block, so try to confirm it, and it is hit confirmable. If you nail this on normal hit, I would try to feint and create a mix-up, but besides that, normal hit, I try to let the follow-up hit, or at least come out to see if they're going to duck, or see if they're going to 2P, or see what exactly they're going to do. Because some people do mash out launchers after that, and they do work. But this move, 6-6P, as you can see, very good on pushback, and very good for traveling, and it has a feint. So if your opponent wants to create distance, you know, while you're playing footsies with them, get back up right in their face. This is the Tsubaki that I was telling you about for this string. This string right here can lead into this. Love that shit. This Tsubaki parries highs and low punches. It goes as far as -1, and it's a mid, and on counter hit you could create a juggle out of it. So for Aoi players, don't be afraid to use it. So on this string, it's a very good trap for them. It's a very good trap against opponents. And boom. Very good trap. This move, it goes as far as -1. What I mean by it goes as far as -1, I mean that if you try to do it at -2, it's not going to work. It can only work at -1 or any plus frames. It could go as far negative as -1. It can't go as far as -2. But that trap is a really good trap. Let's try 4P. Because -1 is so bad, so you can go for this. Because -1 isn't that bad, so you can go for Tsubaki. -1 is good. Weird. Like, -1 isn't exactly, you know, it's not like, oh my god, I can't do anything, I have to block. -1 is like, you can mash out if you do it right and if you use the right move. It's not that bad. How positive can it work from? Any positive. They can work from any positive or ground 0. But it can't go farther than -1. So if you're at -2 and they try to 2P and you try to do Tsubaki, their 2P is gonna go through. This move right here, full circular high 17 frames with the follow-up into Tenchi. You can create mix-up out of this. I wouldn't completely recommend going into Tenchi unless you're going for a mix-up. You know, especially if that lands, if 4P lands on counter hit, then you know, you can try and go into a mix-up, but that's a pretty fast move to try and, you know, create a mix-up out of. Plus 17 frames and it's high, and it's full circular, pretty damn good. And she also has the follow-up if they want to try and do something. So say that you smack them and it lands and they try to mash out, you hit them with that kick staggers, and it staggers them and pushes them back. So in which case it does back up. I wouldn't recommend